What happened to damn Friday the 13th, the game? I already know what happened, guys. It's Jason Voorhees, guys. He's a murderer. I'm not gonna lie.
Have some of this.
Oh god.
This
Please stop. Oh yeah, you got me good on that. Oh my, it hurts. He's a star of the movie, and basically what had happened was the guy who wrote the original movie was suing them for a long time, and they had to shut down the game, and they haven't made any movies since. But recently, I think the lawsuit, somewhat recently, like a year ago maybe, it ended. So in theory, they could bring the game back now. But that's what happened. Spoiler. Let me see if I was even right. Shout out Wasterbite. This video came up to me in a dream.
A sound you most likely haven't heard in a very long time.
At least a while.
Ever wonder why? Friday the 13th is easily one of the most iconic horror franchises of all time. But for some reason, it just doesn't feel like that's a fact. So many other iconic horror movies of the past have still held their ground in current day media. Compared to this, Friday the 13th just doesn't hold its ground very well. Don't get me wrong, the fan base is still very, very active. And every now and again, Jason Voorhees will appear in some form of media, but you have to admit, 16 years without a film? That is not a good example of a thriving franchise.
Well, maybe they were just out of ideas, right? Because they already did Friday the 13th in space, Friday the 13th in New York, which is actually apparently takes place on a boat, and that people complain there wasn't enough New York in the New York one. I haven't seen that one, but I'd like to. Yeah, I like these movies, even though they're dog shit, even more dog shit than you would expect. And it's really funny that the guy who wrote the first one is the one who, like, brought the series to a halt, because the first one doesn't even really have Jason in it, and it sucks, so I think you were paid enough, but that's not for me to decide. I'm not a judge. Judge lonniedos here. Law and Order sound effect.
Now, despite me being rather young, I still do remember a time where this series
I'm also very full of youth.
Increasingly popular. I remember when everybody was just anticipating the release of a new film. I remember Friday the 13th, the game. This title was released on May
Okay, well, he's about
26th, 2017.
Okay, he remembers 2017, guys. Okay, I do too. Weird flex. I'm above the age of 10.
By Gun Media. It had a Kickstarter page that raised over $800,000 in order for it to be made.
I own this game, but I've never played it. But apparently it lived and died, and I never got to it yet. But it's Jason, so if it still works, I don't have to play online. It's fine. And it's just scary, dude. Maybe I'll play it today. Who knows?
And apparently, there was a lot more where that came from.
Want to see more where they came from?
Money to be putting towards a project, but thankfully, its return was.
I think they should do Jason Goes to the Hood because they haven't done it yet. The Leprechaun went there twice.
Quite nice upon release. It was off to a shaky start in some areas, but regardless, to say that this game was successful would be an understatement. Within the first few months, this game sold 1.8 million copies. A huge success, in case you were wondering. It got so popular to the point where if people just recorded themselves playing it with a few friends, they would be granted millions upon millions of views for it.
I regret everything I've done.
Why didn't I play it?
The inherent jankiness of the game and the open mic mechanic made for some very ridiculous and memorable moments. Have you ever wanted to play Dead by Daylight, but by the end of the match you didn't want to rip off your fucking fingers? Well, here you have it. That's pretty much what this game was. In the public matches where one...
Tactical nuke received! Dude, shout out to Bry Raggy. Dude, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Hope your stream was good.
Player was Jason Voorhees and the rest
Did you
were
play Jason
versus
Freddy?
To survive. There was a ton of stuff that you could do in this game. Hell, if you played your cards correctly in a public match, you could kill Jason Voorhees.
Do you have even the slightest clue how fucking badass that is?
It sounds pretty ideal.
With this game being
he is a scary man, and he allegedly can't even die, so there's no harm in trying, because we got to get him. I haven't seen all of the Friday the 13th movies. I think there's 12. They never quite made it to 13th. That's why I remember it was 12. But that includes, like, Freddy vs. Jason and any potential spin-offs. But, yeah, I think there's freaking that many proper movies. And I have not seen, like, 3 of the middle ones-ish. But I saw the space one. I saw Jason Goes to Hell. That was all right. That was wacky Power Rangers mind-reading type. Mind control, I mean. Type vibe. And then it was What else? Freddy vs. Jason has got to be like top 5 best movies ever made, dude. That's cinema.
There, it skyrocketed the popularity of Jason Voorhees. So much so that if things had gone smoothly, a new film would have absolutely been in store. But something odd happened. Only 1 year after this game was released, the publisher
What up, Drew? My day's been chill. Hope you guys have been chill. Let me know.
announced that any future updates and DLCs were cancelled. Fast forward
It's
to
all
today,
ogre.
and not only has the game been removed from online marketplaces and physical stores, but has also officially shut down all of their online servers. So you
Yeah, I don't think they could do anything else with Jason in it until the court case was resolved. Pretty sad. No movies, no more game, even though the game already exists. Turn it off. Kind of crazy. Why don't they just pay the guy more? He must have been asking for like an absurd amount.
might be asking yourself, what
But I don't know.
caused this game to go from such a
wonder what
well-known
happened.
title to something that is now merely a shell of its former self? Well, I must warn you, this story is complicated, irritating, and tragic. It ripples past just the game and dives headfirst into the entire IP of Friday the 13th.
I assume he's edging me on to saying the stuff I already said, so I'll skip ahead a little bit. Why is he a flower man? Shout out to him, though.
At such a sharp decline, we have to go back in time. All the way back to the
Content
late
cop Jason Voorhees? What we do here is throw it back.
70s. Trust me, this
Actually, Jason wouldn't like that. He does not like when people have sex and interrelations physically. So don't do that, or you might die.
starts to make sense in about 10 minutes. In the late 70s, after the hit slasher film Halloween was released, a man by the name of Sean Cunningham decided he wanted to see
Mr.
if he
Ham,
could
is
test
it?
his luck on making a film in a similar style. But the only problem was
What up, pro gamer? I mean, YouTube. I mean, you're on
that
Twitch. What the
Cunningham
hell?
didn't
What the
have
hell?
much in mind for what the film would actually be. Well, he had a name for the film, and he knew it was going to be a slasher film, but not many ideas for the story. Regardless, he said, fuck it, and immediately
Fuck it.
started advertising it as the, and I quote, most terrifying film ever made. The guy didn't even have a script. Miraculously, he got funding because of this advertisement. $500,000. Go make your film. Money aside, it still did not change the fact that he did not really know what the story was going to be. So, he turned to a writer to help him with this film. A writer by the name of Victor Miller.
Or
Miller's
should have just used Chat GPT and avoided the headache later on, but I guess hindsight is 40-50.
writing and Cunningham's directing led Friday the 13th to be a hit in the box office, making $5 million in the opening weekend, finishing domestically with almost $40 million in returns. It was a success.
It's
Cunningham
Victor!
decided that he wanted to keep this train going. He wanted sequels to be
Jacob!
made, but there
What up,
was
dog?
one interesting
I
factor.
prefer Alien vs. Predator over Freddy vs. Jason. I don't think I've seen that one, but that sounds amazing as well. That is a thing. That rings a bell, indeed. I think I've seen Alien. Is Predator in Alien, or does he have his own movie?
Cunningham did not rehire Miller to
I love
write
when
the
guys
second
fight.
film. In fact, he did not rehire Miller for any of the other Friday the 13th movies. And a lot of the money that these sequels were generating were not going into the pockets of the man who built the foundation to this franchise. It really does not help that Miller himself states on his official website that he does not even like the sequels. Miller most likely felt very cheated about the situation, but there was not much he could do at the time. But eventually, he did do something. There is this silly, wacky right that we have called a copyright termination right. It states that, these are not my words, I'm quoting something, Section 203 of the Copyright Act permits authors to terminate grants of copyright assignments and licenses that were made on or after January 1st of 1978, when certain conditions have been met. Termination of a grant cannot be effective until 35 years after the execution of the grant, or if the grant covers the right of publication, no earlier than 40 years after the execution of the grant, or 35 years after
Look at
publication
my
of the
lawyer,
grant, whichever
dog.
comes first. Grants may only be terminated during a specific
getting
statutory
murdered.
window, and must specify the date that the termination goes into effect. The effective date must fall within a 5-year termination period, which is based on factors set forth in sections 203, 304C, or 304D, as applicable. Let me try and reform that into something a bit more understandable. Let's say you make a story, and you sold the rights to somebody else, or even a company. With the right to copyright termination, you have the ability to get that copyright back through
Why?
legal proceedings. But you must wait 35 years after signing it away.
But
After
I'll be
waiting
dead
those
by then.
35 years, you only have a 5-year window to go through with this, and that is exactly what Victor Miller did. He wrote the screenplay in 1979,
Bro pounced
and
on
Miller
them, legally
began issuing
speaking.
termination notices in 2016, 37 years later. He exercised his right by claiming that technically, since he was the writer for the first Friday the 13th, that he is the copyright holder of the first film. He was met with a bit of pushback. The case was titled Horror Inc. v. Miller. Horror Inc. being the main copyright holder of the Friday the 13th franchise. In case you were wondering, Sean Cunningham is associated with this company. Now, whenever Miller started giving out termination notices, the opposing party wanted a declaratory judgment. It was implied that the script was a work for hire, that Victor Miller was an employee when he wrote the film, which would add some complications to his claim. However, Miller asserted a counterclaim saying that his lawsuit was valid because he was not an employee, but rather an independent contractor when he wrote that script. Now, interestingly enough, this case almost and could have ended a lot sooner. You see, the good news about the counterclaim was that the district court did back up Miller. On the parties' cross motions for summary judgment, the district court ruled that the Friday the 13th screenplay was not a work made for hire, and that Miller's termination notice validly terminated Horror's rights to the copyright in the screenplay. But after this ruling, Horror Inc. appealed to the Second Circuit, and for many more years, this battle was still underway. Now, is there a good guy and bad guy in this situation? That's for you to decide.
Freddy and Jason!
It is just a very messy, complicated situation for everyone involved. Anyways, a bit more back and forth happened, but nothing really too noteworthy. It was mainly just a huge...
I mean, if you're being fair to both sides, obviously he does deserve something for making the first movie, and then, like, he deserves something from the sequels too, because you can do it without it. I'm, like, joking that the first movie sucks, because it does, but it's important, but I don't understand why he just didn't get paid. What are they going back and forth for all these years about?
Huge breakdown
just
of
how much, I guess.
That was until mid-2021 where the case finally ended. The Second Circuit upheld the district court's decision, so Victor Miller won his case. Now he owns the rights to the first film of Friday the 13th inside the United States. So, it's over. The game should have made a full return, right? We'll get to that in a second. Here's where I get very confused. Victor Miller owns the rights to the screenplay and the movie of the original Friday the 13th film. Yes? So that would mean Victor Miller owns Pamela Voorhees, all of the characters in the first film,
that are dead,
child Jason Voorhees. Since all of these things were established in the first film, he owns all of them. So if Victor Miller wanted to make a Friday the 13th movie, show, short series, it could only be a prequel, pretty much, with Pamela Voorhees, Camp Crystal Lake, and her son Jason. On the opposite side, Cunningham, if he wanted to make a new Friday the 13th film, he couldn't use the fucking backstory of Jason Voorhees.
You don't need it anymore. We heard it.
First movie. Not even the legend of him drowning at Camp Crystal Lake. Mind you, this is not even taking into account the distribution companies that own certain trademarks regarding the franchise. So how would this work? Trick question. It doesn't. Which makes me believe that I'm mistaken about something, but I can't be. This is the only thing that makes sense given the circumstances.
Alright, skipping ahead a little bit more. Let's freaking see if the game comes back. Who's Victor?
Dead, with no signs of it being resurrected.
Oh!
It's such a damn disappointment. I mean, yeah, I say that, but I could not imagine the rage the Kickstarter backers had after hearing all this. Think about it, they raised almost $1 million for this game, for only half of the shit that was planned to actually be made, because mind you, this game had so much more in the works. For example, around 2018, there were confirmations that this game would add a Jason X themed map and Jason Voorhees to the game, but due to the circumstances, it was halted and unfortunately never released.
POV went to the wrong area of space.
Oh, except for that offline mode cabin thing, but that doesn't really count. I also have a feeling that they were going to add every single version of Jason Voorhees, like the one from the 2009 reboot or the one from Freddy vs. Jason.
Yes!
That would have been really cool to see. When everything began shutting down or becoming stagnant, people tried their hand at modding the game. But Horror Inc. is super against any mods of this game, and have been shown to cease and desist.
Are you afraid someone will give Jason a huge cock and make him fight Jimmy Neutron? Who cares?
Anyone doing so, which, I mean,
Why do you hate fun?
It's their legal right to do so. It is their IP after all, that they're doing fucking nothing with. You would think that since they're going through the trouble of ceasing and desisting passionate fans, that maybe something monumental is in the works. Which brings me to my final point of this video. What is now in store for Friday the 13th? Well, it looks like something is in the works, but I don't know. Jason Universe was announced last year, which is labeled as a multi-platform expansion.
Guys, if you look closely, some of the letters are the 13.
Include entertainment, games, merchandise, and immersive experiences. But the only thing to really come out of this is Jason Voorhees being in multiverses.
Wow, I didn't even bother with that one.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Some t-shirts too. These shirts look like hot fucking garbage. But something interesting that I actually care about did come out of this. IGN put this little quote from a president of Horror Inc. The quote reads, "For decades, Jason shocked and thrilled audiences who kept coming back for more. We're excited to work with Victor Miller and Mark Toberoff on new projects we'll announce in the coming months." So there we have it. Horror Inc. and Victor Miller have put aside their differences and worked together. That's great news. I guess we'll have to see what they do. In the meantime, I'll be on the lookout to see if anything new or fascinating arises from the ashes that is this franchise. If you want to leave this video with a little bit of positivity, I will let you know that there are plans to make a prequel series called Crystal Lake. It was announced back in late 2022 and has since kind of been in a state of limbo. Although recently it does look like it has been picked back up. So here's to hoping that it eventually gets made.
Bro, what is this TV show bullshit they're doing with Jason, I guess, and Child's Play and freaking what is this? I don't need elongated content. Just make a movie.
Hello, it's me, Wazerbite. This is the day before I want this video to go out, so I'm being a little bit hasteful, but mind me.
He's being hasteful. I'm glad to hear that. Shout out to Wazerbite, dude. Freaking good recap of the Friday the 13th of the game situation. It's a crazy situation, if I do say so myself. Let's check out Friday the 13th, the game for ourselves now. Because why the fuck not? Watch they just say, you actually can't play this. It's banned. Higgins Haven! Alright, I'll be Baghead Billy. Just kidding, I can't. Alright, put me in, coach. Jesus Christ, that's a scary picture. Alright, don't get scared, guys. It's gonna be okay. I'll save you. Okay, be a little scared. Be a little scared. It's the right thing to do. Oh wait, I'm the scary guy. I'm the threat. I see my big
Jason. Find them.
Yeah, this game wouldn't be the same without mommy. They couldn't make this game today. Literally, legally speaking. Alright, where to, fellas? Dude, this is sick as hell. I'm so glad they deleted it. I mean, what? Water! Ah, I can't swim! Can I swams in the game? Maybe a little bit of swimming? Kind of felt like I could. Oh yeah, I can. I'm like a shark, dude. What the hell? I'm sensing ya! Where the fuck am I going? I assume I'm Jason from the 2009 movie, right? I like roasting stoners over an open campfire. Spoiler. 2009, guys. You're still waiting to watch that? Bro, I have a long-ass walk ahead of me, huh? Can I shoot them from here? No. They're so scared. Alright, well, that's not gonna work. Dumbass. What are you, stupid or dumb? Wow, this is impossible.
Get up, Jason.
I am up.
Find them.
I'm up.
Kill them.
What are you talking about? What do you think I was gonna... They blew up fireworks on me. I'm trying to close it, dude. I'm a brute. A brutish clod. I just wanted to open it, dude. You're such a brute. Bro has L-Riz. Fucking put a hole in my uncle. Get his ass, buddy. Can you? What is going on here? It's so hard being me. Better not have been in there, because I'm coming in. Bro, these guys outsmarted me easily. It's not that surprising, I suppose. You're locked in, pal. Spidey senses. I need my Spidey senses. I do have a Switch. I haven't used it in God knows how long. The brand. Oh, must be the money. That felt good.
Stop, Jason. They deserve to die.
That's kind of
Make
fucked
them
up.
suffer like we did.
You're so making this really hard to relate to. What the helly? Brush it off.
You know what you're good
Brush it off, dude.
for. What they do,
What the fuck?
cannot die. You can never die.
Got your ass. It ain't fair the way I do it. What the fuck did he just... Oh, I laid a trap.
Don't stop, Jason. They deserve to die.
I thought you meant this
Make them
particular
suffer like
incident.
we.
You need help with your electricity? What is my weapon right here? Jason's famous garden trimmers are not what I want to wield. I'll take that. Alright. We're all still learning here. It's supposed to be camp. I'm literally at a camp. This is as campy as it gets. I came out of nowhere, didn't I? Ain't that some shit?
Kill for mother.
You're weird. Why does it keep bringing me in here? There's no one in here. No way. Excuse me. Fucking big-ass, pioneer-ass rock. Jason don't jumpy. Yeah, they'll never see this here. Okay. Perfect. There's a house here, I think. I think there's a house right here. Yeah, I'm coming to get you. I'm sorry, man.
Jason, do you know what you're gifted?
Bro, just stop.
No matter what they do,
Stop monologuing, Mom. You're embarrassing me in front of my preppy
you
friends.
never die.
You heard my mom? Get Shrek'd
Hunt
on.
them down.
Who, me? Bro, fuck these
want to
fucking
hurt you,
fireworks.
Jason.
I'm a specter. Can I not see that? Fuck me, dude. Feeling awfully gimped not being able to do much of any nimble activities. I'm sensing you.
Someone help!
Oh my god, you're actually a genius. Bro, he's just jumping back and forth. That's a strategy that can't lose. Until it does. Oh my god, what a psychopath.
Damn it, no!
What the fuck is wrong with him? He got away.
He's coming! Help!
Yeah, I'm here already. You're so fast. Holy shit, fuck this guy, dude.
No, stop!
He already jumped out again. Holy shit. Actual best player. I got him. Now I got...
Take you from me.
You are
Jason.
so useless, brother! Oh, he stabbed me. Okay, that's a good excuse. That's a good excuse. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Bitch. Anyone
Kill
shitting?
for mother.
No secrets among friends. Hello. Pussy. Can you open that door? Think there's anyone home? We got... You fucking... Dude, it's never worth grabbing them. They always have a fork on them. This is crazy. You would like this game. Lots of violence.
Get up, Jason.
I'm dying.
Find them. Kill them.
I found them. I'm killing them. And now every single time. Every single time. And then I get a goddamn talking to. I get an earful from mama. Can't have another screwdriver. Cockhead. Oh, that's gross. But rewarding. After all we've been through.
That's my boy.
Whoa, did you just hear that?
Yes.
Sounded like screaming.
Are you my gym
Someone
teacher?
getting bonked upstairs, man.
How come you don't get loud when we get it on?
Well, you're just gonna have to keep trying, babe. No!
Holy shit!
Don't keep trying. Give up.
What are you doing?
Just testing.
Give it all up.
Well, cut it out.
No more sex. What the hell?
Hi, babe.
Be a doll and go check the fuse, please.
Like me. Not the fucking electrician here.
Don't be scared, man.
Don't be like scared, man. There's no bald-headed murderers out there coming to get you.
They're out there, Jason.
Just kidding, they are.
Find them.
Anyone home? Open sesame. Anyone home?
Please, no!
I'm killing you.
Damn it, no!
Why is he running so much faster than you? Oh, she lost her arm.
Hunt them down and make them pay.
Yeah, I'm trying. Why do they bounce off? These are the worst throwing knives in the world, bro.
That's
Excuse
my
me.
special,
Pardon me.
special boy.
I am rather special. Thanks, Mom.